Bonjour tout le monde, comment ça va? Je m'appelle Ezekiel et aujourd'hui pour cette vidéo, nous allons faire le deuxième bass ou donjon ou dungeon, je ne sais pas, pour cette series. I actually don't know the word for series in French, so I do apologize. So anyways, we're going to be taking a look at the second best base, so I'm actually taking this straight from the forums from a guy named Bleky who wrote this, who posted his base on the thread that I made. So I pretty much decided that instead of just being picky, I would just go down the list. So since I chose silence for the first video, the next post right after his is technically a guy named Aristo, except he didn't actually post any pictures or anything. It's just the guy after him, which is Bleky, who posted his base. So we're going to be taking a look at that. So here is the base on the screen. So before we continue, I actually made a organized list on what I'm going to talk about in these photos, because I realized that in the last video, it wasn't so organized. I kind of just ranted on a bunch of random stuff that I wasn't even sure made sense. So this time, it should be different. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a cannon, a homing cannon on the top left corner. We have a red guard just above the door, close to the homing cannon and to the totem chest right there. And then we have the door actually placed in the center, so there's nothing below it or, you know, beside or anything like that. So it's really, you're gonna end up falling straight down to the right side. And then we have a spinner placed right there. All right, so what is the function of this base? Well, it doesn't look like it's any of a super jump. No, there's no corner jumps or, you know, rocket jumps or, you know, leap of faith, I think is what it's called. Not really sure what the full terminology of that is. So this looks to be just a very basic but very good base at the same time. What it does use, though, is probably what I like to call the free fall jump, where when you're starting off the base, you're actually just free falling immediately, and then the only thing you can do is either jump when you land or, you know, jump at a specific time after you land. Alright, so how should this go? Well, looking at the placement of the door and looking at the placement of the totem, it looks like what would happen is that your thief would fall down to the right side, would somehow have to move to the right side, then actually have to go back to the left side, up towards the homing cannon, somehow avoid it, then onto that platform of a block right there, jump over it, avoid the red guard, and then go all the way to the right side to get to the totem chest. Alright, looks simple enough, but how would I actually do it in real time? So this is another problem that I've encountered with this series, I guess, for now. I can't actually show you guys how I would do this in real time. I can only speculate and talk about it, but I guess that's what makes it fun, because I can kind of just, I can say almost anything, and as long as I make it sound correct, then I guess it's technically correct, except it's probably not. But anyways, what I would do is that, so you fall down on the right side, and looking at the spinner, since it's moving clockwise to the right side, I would imagine that you have to time your jump ever so slightly so that when you jump, you actually avoid the spinner. So this is almost like a spawn jump, insta-kill jump, except it's not really any of those two. Probably more of an insta-kill jump, just because the spinner, it's not moving super fast, but it's moving fast enough so that it forces you to time your jump correctly. So after, in theory, you avoid the spinner, you're moving onto the right side, and then this is probably the hardest part of the dungeon, is when you have to actually go back to the left side and onto the column where the homing cannon is. I would assume that there's probably a specific pattern or a moment where you actually have to jump again. So either when you're running to the right side of the, you know, after you pass the spinner, you can either do a jump onto the wall and then go straight to the left side, or actually just fall down to the corner and then wait a while before you can actually proceed to make your move. So that, I guess that's one weakness to the space, is that you can actually camp in the space and then actually do a time jump. But anyways, what I think I would do is that if I found out what time, because I'd have to look at how the red guard's shifting left and right, I'd have to look at how many times the homing cannon is shooting, and then the spinner as it's going, you know, back and forth. There's probably a moment where I would be able to jump correctly, so when I do that, I go all the way to the left side, avoid the spinner once again, either by jumping, or doing a quick jump, or by doing a far, you know, I want to say an off-corner jump, if that makes any sense. So basically jumping just under the door, essentially. And then once I do that, there's probably the issue where I can't camp this time because the homing cannon's going to be shooting me. And if I stay at the bottom left corner, then it's probably going to kill me. So I would have to probably jump either... Well, I can probably hit the corner, like the bottom left corner, but then I have to jump immediately to avoid the homing cannon, or I could just jump off the corner and not even fall in the bottom corner to begin with. So then I'm jumping on the walls, homing cannon's trying to shoot me, and I'm gonna have to find a way to time it and like duke him out. And if I can somehow pass the homing cannon, the last major obstacle is just that red guard. So possibly when I'm going towards the homing cannon and the red guard's going towards me, then when I land on that block of a platform and the red guard's going the other way, then I can probably jump on time where the red guard's probably going towards the middle area, like above the door, and then I can avoid that and successfully get to the totem chest. So I know that was a very long explanation, but that's probably how I would see it and how I would do it if this was actually in motion. So now the last thing is that, do I think that this is a good base? Well, looking at it, it does not use any spawn jumps, no super jumps, there's no, crazy corner jumps or any rocket jumps, no dive jumps. Well, there could be a dive jump, but it's not really, I don't really see that in this particular base. So yeah, this is definitely a very good base, just because it doesn't use any of the broken techniques that make bases way too difficult to solve. So yeah, I give props to Bleky for making this base, because I can tell you that he made it because obviously he's an editor mode. He's an editor mode in King of Thieves. Sorry about that. I don't know why. I have trouble pronouncing words sometimes. Don't judge me. But yeah, this is a very solid base. I definitely think it's really good. So for those who have this layout, I probably recommend that you should, copy it or maybe try it for yourself, see how it works, and see how you do with that. So anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this base video. Thanks so much again to Bleky for participating by sharing his base with us. So if you guys want to participate in this, remember, just head off to the link in the description below. Then it's going to take you to the thread, and then all you gotta do is post your base, either with a picture or the link, and then I'll be able to show it in a video. And I'll just do it in order. So after Bleky, the next dude that we're going to take a look at is Frederick 3000. So he's going to be the next dude afterwards. But that's all the time that we have for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button. The like challenge is going to be 120 likes. How about that? 120 plus likes, I should say. And don't forget to comment if you really have anything to share, and subscribe to the channel because we're close to 50,000 subscribers. Donc, merci pour m'écouter, et je vais vous voir dans la prochaine vidéo. Merci beaucoup.